I'm going to watch one more Classic Abby video, because fuck it. It's called What an Actual Woman Thinks of Taylor Swift's The Man video. This is like a more appealing version of Caitlyn Bennett.
Talking about Taylor Swift's new video, The Man. So when I was younger, I was a huge fan of Taylor Swift. And even when she moved into pop, I didn't really blame her for that. I started not liking her music as much, but it didn't make me not like her. And then Taylor Swift decided that she was going to become an SJW. I did not like her as much after this happened. She has really decided that she is a victim. Now, if you know me and if you know my blog, I am not a fan of victimhood. I put up this tweet, which said, I just watched Taylor Swift's The Man music video, and I'm so tired of women acting like victims. We have all the same rights, we have all the same opportunities. You know what acting like a victim gets you? The feeling you'll never succeed and unhappiness. Now, I wasn't even coming after Taylor Swift, really, and a lot of the time, feminists are arguing about equal rights and opportunities in America where we already have them.
What America does she live in? Because it's not my fucking America. White men fucking run America. And everybody else has to fight harder to get to where they are. But yeah, we live in fucking equal America. That's why the fucking Black Lives Matter movement's still been going on for now 57 days.
Taylor Swift's fans, who are supposedly the ones who think that all women are heroes, decided that when I tweeted something out against Taylor, they were calling me ugly, a rat, and didn't really argue with my points. Some of them did, although most of them didn't. And in my opinion, that's not really something to brag about. But I thought I would give you guys an actual woman's response to Taylor Swift's The Man video.
Okay, before we start that, she was victimized, but it doesn't bother her, but she doesn't like victims. You are so entitled. Also, how is this monetized when she's using Taylor's music?
The video starts off with her in an office walking around treating people badly, and the lyrics are talking about how if she was a man, she could sleep around and no one would care and people would actually give her praise for it. Well, the first thing that made me think is, what kind of people are you hanging about with? In the communities that I grew up in, and in the communities that I still choose to be a part of, if men are sleeping around, that's not a good thing. Anybody who is sleeping around before they're married, or in a way that's disrespectful to their partners and isn't in relationships, is not praised at all.
Men do, very much so. Oh, you hit that? Oh, you hit that? Oh, you slammed 2 in a weekend, you had a threesome? That's awesome, man. High five. I guarantee you that in her little community, there are men, married or not, that are sleeping around, and when all their buddies get together, they're probably like, yeah, that's awesome. But they don't tell their wives because that would be sinful. But if a woman sleeps with a lot of people, oh, you're a hoe. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. I've been called a human mattress by a man I wouldn't sleep with. You should be okay with your sexuality. Sex is not a bad word. Exploration of your sexuality is not a bad thing. Sex is a huge part of a relationship, and I feel bad for people who don't get laid before they're married. That's your own prerogative, that's fine, but if for some reason you're not sexually compatible, that's gonna suck in your relationship, and that's where my stance is on it. I don't think your lifestyle is bad. Your lifestyle is just not my lifestyle. That's not how I'm gonna live my life, just like you're not gonna live your life like me. But don't tell me I shouldn't be in a community where it's okay to sleep around.
If we're living in a society where everyone can sleep with everyone and it doesn't matter, why would we want that? Actually, women are not criticized, in my experience, for sleeping around. You're praised. When J.Lo got up on stage at the Super Bowl and danced around as she did, a lot of people criticized her, but a lot of people defended her. So clearly, there's a divide in this country, and it's not people just saying, oh, you slept around and you're a woman, that's bad. There are people who are also saying, you slept around and you're a woman, that's empowerment.
Because it's women supporting fucking women, and that's okay. We should support each other for our fucking choices. And those other women who stepped up and were like, go her, she fucking awesome, empowerment. If somebody is not living their life the way you think that they should live it, keep it to yourself. Here you go. You want to be a classic lady? I know this sounds hypocritical because I'm like dogging on her, and I get that. I get that. I'm dogging on her for being so judgmental, for being so bossy in the way that people should live their lives. And now my battery's dying because I'm so fucking just... Alright, new battery. Let's Let's finish hearing her out.
Everyone should probably just not sleep around in a way that's gross. What's that like? I had to stop it there for you guys because when everyone believes ya, what's that like came up. As a country, I think we've talked about this quite a bit, but I don't think that hashtag believe all women is a good idea. We've seen time and time again that women can lie. Of course, there are situations where you should believe her, of course. And we live in a country where it's innocent until proven guilty. We have to be smart about this kind of thing. So Taylor Swift just saying, oh, we should believe all women, and I have 100 million followers who will believe me.
So I get her point here on we shouldn't believe all women. There are women who lie. There are men's lives who have been ruined. I feel like that if we punished women who lied, then we would see less women lying, but there's so many women who aren't listened to, and because our society is so fucking broken, there's so many women who have not stepped forward. I never reported my rape because I was afraid I wouldn't be listened to. But when you have a high-powered man, it's very hard to bring them down when they hurt people. Because yes, she does have her Swifties that follow behind her and that do believe her, but how much can an army of, you know, teenagers really do against high-powered men? Like, I'm not trying to say that they're any less important, because they're not. But I can guarantee you some 16-year-old went up and said, oh, the president grabbed my pussy, and the president, oh no, I'd never do that. I'd never do that. Even though he said he'd sleep with his daughter if she wasn't related to him, they would probably dismiss it.
This next section we need to talk about. The lyrics don't really go with what's happening on screen, so let's take them apart separately. The lyrics say that she would have gotten there faster if she was a man. I don't think she would have gotten there faster if she was a man. She got there faster because she was pretty and cute and relatable. And now she's using that still.
Yes, she was famous at 15, but if you go into her history, she was controlled by a man. If she was a man, the odds were she would have been less sexualized and she would have been less controlled.
She dresses in a way that's provocative. I'm not saying that's a terrible thing, but I am saying she can use her sexuality to get where she wants to go. If she was a man, I don't think she would have that same appeal.
Okay, but if she was a man, she wouldn't have to have used her sexuality to get to where she needed to go. And when you look at her the beginning of her music career, she dressed more modestly.
It's actually happening on the screen. You have her manspreading as a man, and the fact of the matter is I've never been in a scenario where other men wouldn't call that guy out. Also, why are the people around him letting him act that way? They wouldn't. Everyone is on equal footing here. If you're gonna act like a bad person, people are gonna call you out for the most part, and if they don't, maybe they should.
Have you ever been in a situation where you're sitting next to a guy and they're sitting with their legs spread and you're like, can you please get out of my space? And they don't? I have. I know many women have, and if you call them out, they have some snotty thing to say to you because they think they're all that in a bag of chips because you're a fucking female and you should bow down to them.
And then she pees on a wall, and you see all the names of her albums that she doesn't currently own. Now, I don't have enough legal background to know exactly if she should own her old records or not. I don't really know what the legal ramifications of that are. And theoretically, if you're a woman doing that, that's also pretty gross. So maybe no one should pee on a wall?
She's not saying women should be able to pee on walls. She's saying men take a piss on everything. It's a fucking metaphor.
This next section kind of blows my mind because I'm so confused at what her point is. She has about 10 women lying on a boat in bikinis who have all decided that they want to hang out with this really kind of gross guy. What does that say about women generally? Women are choosing to be with gross men. And I don't think it's like a societal, patriarchal thing. You're saying that the guy is the problem here. These women shouldn't be following the lead of a bad guy. That's crazy.
They're following the lead of a bad guy who has power so they can get a leg up, so they get a chance at something. Because if they don't get a chance. Because if you go up against the man that is controlling your success, you're gonna lose all of that.
And they're all on his boat because they want to party. I mean, this does happen, and I think it's more...
They're all on his boat because they're trying to make a name for themselves.
...of a critique of the woman than it is of the men. Then we see her as a man getting out of bed with a woman, and he's already dressed. When I watched this video, all I could think is that the people that I know wouldn't think that this guy was acceptable. And the women who are hanging around with him are the problem. The guy is the problem, of course, as well, but he wouldn't have anybody to communicate with if women weren't following his lead. So who are you criticizing more? Are you criticizing men, or are you criticizing the women?
She's not criticizing the women that are following them around. She's saying that if she was a man, she wouldn't have had to follow a high-powered man to get her career to where it was, because that's what she had to do. She had to follow in line between a high-powered man that then had control over her music and then gave it to another man and who pissed all over it. Girl, this is going right over your fucking head.
And there we go again. If he's being a bad dad and women are just attracted to him because they're stupid, I don't understand why she's criticizing women so harshly in this video.
She's not saying in this scenario that he's a bad dad or whatever. They're saying that in this situation, I don't know if she's got kids, but when you're a parent, I have 4 children, right? And I take care, I'm here 24/7. I care for them, I take them to their appointments, I do all that. My husband like takes them to the park and all of a sudden he's dad of the fucking year, and I'm like, really? And that's what she's saying, is that even in parenting, that guys have it easier because, you know, you change one shitty diaper and go, oh yeah, I changed that shitty diaper, and all the women are like, yay! But you know, oh, you're the mom, you should do that anyways.
She seems to be criticizing women much more harshly than she's criticizing.
She's saying that men are highly praised for doing less.
And all of the women in this video look like they're stupid. Then she has a tantrum, and I think it's supposed to be a throwback to Serena Williams, when she had a tantrum and people criticized her for that. The fact of the matter is, I'm watching this video and I would criticize any man who acted like that.
But the thing is that you personally might criticize any man who acted like that, but look at Donald Trump and the way he acts. He throws fits all the time. And yeah, people do criticize him, but he's not as widely criticized as like Serena Williams, who, you know, oh, she's a woman, it was hormones. She's supposed to hold her composure, but men can't?
We should criticize anyone who acts like a child on the tennis court. The premise here is broken. That men and women should be treated equally is true, and they are, but the fact is,
they're not!
How do you want them to be treated equally? Do you want them to be treated and held to a higher standard? Or do you want everyone to be treated equally and everyone can be terrible?
Girl, do you listen to yourself talk? Like, if you don't understand, I can't, I'm not explaining it. I'm not,
Okay.
Could you try to be sexier? Maybe more likable this time? By the way, excellent work over there, Lauren. That was astonishing.
This ending is interesting because Taylor Swift is positing that men are just complimented on whatever they do, and women are always told they have to be sexier and a little bit better because men have it easy. This is not true. If you know anything about academia right now, women are getting into schools at a higher rate than men. If you know anything about certain jobs, women are getting hired at a higher rate than men. I don't understand why we have to polarize men and women so harshly. Men need women, women need men. And when you make a video, you should have the best people around you. You don't have to do everything for yourself. You should hire people who know what they're doing. So Taylor Swift, you've changed and you've alienated a lot of the people who used to follow you to make a point. And I know that you want to say that you're brave for coming out as a political person, but you were called out and you responded in kind so that you wouldn't get in trouble by not saying that you were liberal. And I don't really respect that choice. I don't think your music is as good when you make it about politics. And as an actual woman, I don't feel oppressed by the patriarchy. I feel happy that I am part of the greatest country in the world, and I'm married to a wonderful man.
Oh my god! I don't think I'm gonna watch any more of these videos. I think this is gonna be my last one. I think we're good on 3. 3 seems to be a great number. Alright, have a beautiful day!